Healthcare.
Spectre Studios, playing for the spirit of the game.
Malifaux is a world aside from our own. Located through the Great Breach, it uses Gothic, steampunk, and Victorian horror with a dose of the Wild West thrown in to inject fun and depth into the magical lawlessness of a world rife with monsters, necropunks, man-machine hybrids, gunslingers, and power-hungry politicos.
Episode 3, Justice Comes A-Huntin'. Alright everybody, we are back here again for our second weekly event going on with our Malifaux. Really kind of our third game for it because it's a time frame of what's kind of going on. I'm Benito with Mark. And you can definitely hear, we are here at our local hobby store at the complex. So if you've been watching this video and you're here in Maine, there's a good chance you're going to jump in this campaign with us and get up and get on. This is your first game.
This is my first game on the campaign, and I am ready for a serious butt kicking, and we will see how this goes.
Well, I didn't do a lot of butt kicking in my first game, so we'll see exactly how that plays out. But we're hopefully looking to score a lot of victory point conditions because that's really how you're going to get far in the campaign with getting the script and what's going on with that. So we're really going to kind of concentrate on that part of that. But we have the Reckoning, which is a little bit of butt kicking. It's a little hard trying to drop 2 models a turn to get 1 victory condition.
Yeah, it's going to be tough between your I'm not here and don't shoot me and my hard to kill. So it's going to be, we'll see who goes down.
That's tough. Only on 1 scheme is going to be revealed. That'll be me. Cassandra's going to use the entourage scheme to basically dance around and get to his deployment zone, hopefully to score me the larger victory condition. So he's going to try to hunt her. And she's the henchman, the leader, so she's got all the stones on her and all that stuff. So I'm kind of feeling pretty confident that will really help me garner a couple more script at the end of this game and stuff like that. But are you ready to throw down with the guild?
I'm ready to give it a shot.
All right. I have the Archanist, led by, of course, Cassandra. You're being led by...
I've got the Judge.
The Judge. So it's going to be some heavy hitting going on. Let's exactly see how things turn out in our wonderful campaign of Malifaux. Alright, so here we are. The Judge obviously finding out that Cassandra and Angelica are obviously up to something in our little Soulstone Rune area, apparently. Doesn't like them here, so the Reckoning is about punishing them, hurting them badly, and telling them not to do it again. The girls are definitely a little out of their element from the theater, but they're gonna basically see what they can do. So we have Cassandra. If you remember my crew before, Angelica. I have a mannequin now. I've replaced a gunsmith for her, giving me a little bit more soulstone. Still have a performer and the gunsmith hiding in the corner there. We're in a junkyard for this weekly event. So there's 2 of mine there. And you can see 2 more placed by Mark here. Mark, we've got, what do we got here? We got the Judge, you said, and...
We've got the Judge, 2 Death Marshals, and the Executioner.
Alright, so he's got some badass posse looking to come with this. What upgrade did you give the Judge?
The Judge has Unrelenting Leader.
Okay, so very cool. So he's got that set up, and we'll see exactly how things work in the first turn here.
Go.
Alright, so we've gotten our first turn quickly out of the way. Pretty much the guild went that way, I went the opposite way. The only real thing about it is I dropped a bunch of schemes because of the mannequin's ability to help really push that all around. The gunsmith did get the vendetta scheme that I was hoping for with a nice little soft wound on the executioner. Hit him pretty good. Mark cheated up to make it so it wasn't a very deadly damage from what she had in her switch chamber usage. So he took a little wound. He's now upset and looking to eat her with his claws. But I did get a victory point for it, which was the more important part of it. So that's what we're looking at. And you want to take that, Mark, from what you see there?
No. Just usually in dice games, I roll obnoxiously well, and in card games, I have the opposite luck. And that has been consistent so far this game.
So you did get 1 scheme marker down on his own over there. So trying to load up on what's playing with that. So see how these schemes are working out. But obviously mine is not the line in the sand. I've got a lot of schemes going on because I've already announced Vendetta and Entourage. So you pretty much know where I'm going with that. And the rest is Reckoning. Alright, right, turn 2.
Pretty certain that it was something like that. I wasn't.
So we finished turn 2. Pretty much nothing has changed victory condition wise. Really, anything, if you're looking at this, is Cassandra did a little wound to the Death Marshal. The Death Marshal nicked this mannequin pretty good. I mean, he only got 3 wounds left, but didn't really imagine the armor was going to soak that much of the damage part of it. Lesson learning. Pretty much, I know I did a lot of lesson learning before. Ski markers all around, and we're heading into turn 3. Really, still, you didn't score anything victory-wise, right? No. Position-wise or dropping? Okay. And I have done nothing more than after the Vendetta, so we're still where we're at. 1-0. End of turn 3, going on what's happening here. Pretty fortunate turn of events. I've gotten a couple of crew members linked over here. So I got the Death Marshal, and the biggest news is I got who I'm vendetting against, that Executioner paralyzed. So we're really not going to be able to do anything activation-wise. And you can see my entire posse has run over there to do that. I'm really kind of setting up for the gunsmith to finish the blow to get the victories that I need, because this reckoning, even so how's this going, is impossible with what we have right going on here. There's no way to get 2 models unless there's amazing whittling of death. So that's not happening with either of us. So as we predicted. Still working the scheme. These guys are over here. I'm not really sure if they're just trying to get to my deployment zone, and that's what you're kind of working on. Maybe it's a secret scheme. We're finding out. We're heading into turn 4, so we're pushing things in that regard there. So we're just kind of getting around. I basically scored the 3 victory conditions for me for killing the Vendetta by paralyzing with Angelica. The gunsmith was able to go up and finish off the Executioner pretty well. He's made his ploy to try to do the same thing, and I've used Angelica to drag her along, and then I'm trying to protect her with a Performer, and then threw the mannequin out that direction to do the same. And Cassandra is actually in the entourage area as well. She's in his deployment zone, so I just really kept her back there as we go into the final, possibly the final turn of our round. Alright, so we ended up with the end of turn 5, going on with that, and basically we both were doing the exact same schemes, which is kind of hilarious in my favor. Yours was secret, so that changed 1 victory point condition for you if I had known a little bit more. Because the judge was into my deployment zone. Cassandra got into his pretty easily after we took care of everybody that was pretty much in there. I particularly ran away once I found out that your Vendetta was against my gunsmith. So she shrugged off a couple of wounds or whatever part of it, and then I killed her, helping with Angelica. So she got her out of that, didn't really suffer that part, so it kept the conditions pretty well, victory that. I threw the junkyard piece once. It has to kill somebody, so to get the 3 parts of that didn't happen. I whiffed. Wasn't really too bad with that. It was just kind of really odd to kind of component. It was, again, very difficult models to kill.
And those junkyard pieces, trying to kill somebody with a junkyard piece, pretty much luck, because they really have to be already pretty well beat up.
Yeah. Yeah, and the models, I mean, the judges each had hard to kill pretty much. It was going to reduce things and bring them down. I had some hard to kill models. It was pretty tough, and the maneuverability was quite the distance. It was quite the rope-a-dope going on with that.
The technical term for that is tidy bowl of death as we were going around each other.
Yep. The key thing that happened was Angelica hit with the paralyzed showstopper. Without that, this probably would have been a much closer game, if anything, because I would have had to really try to make that model kill the Executioner was where it was at. But because he was stuck still, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't charge anybody, get involved in it, that allowed me to kind of pick him apart. That was the big difference as part of that, and revealing the scheme. So sometimes being bold, folks, kind of let you know. We're still using some of the old schemes where we'll gravitate toward that as we're more experienced Malifaux players. But just looking at our models, figuring out what the hell they can do. But overall, great game. I mean, thoroughly entertaining like that. Also, every model that was down was not hurt at any moment. You were able to cheat pretty much that. I lost the mannequin, but I drew the two, so nothing took an injury out of that. Again, upgrade and let you know how things are kind of going from a little bit later with that. So anything you want to add to it?
No, it's just that this campaign system with the injuries actually gives me, some sort of good out of the fact that my hand is always choked with low cards. So I was able to make that work for me today.
Yeah, and you'll be walking away with a little more extra script because I had more script issues. I got these little laminated from the website that you can get. A lot of good resources from Malifaux with that. That really helped us track our points pretty easy without using, dice or a lot of stuff like that going on. And great reference material helping us go through that. So once again, remember, you can find us here at the complex. If you want to join us with Malifaux, you can find us on spectrestrews.us. That leads to the forum. There's a Malifaux thread there under Weird Miniatures. And then basically talk to us and join us because this campaign's going. You just walk away with extra script for playing someone who's already played a game in the weekly event. So you don't have to worry about getting too far behind. We'll just get you playing and caught up as soon as possible. So on to your next adventure, sir.
On to the next then, yes.
Spectre Studios takes you into the story with Benito Senense on YouTube, and you can take an active role as a hero in the videos by supporting the studio on our Patreon page at patreon.com/Benito Senense. Malifaux is a tabletop skirmish game produced by Weird Miniatures LLC and can be found at weirdgames.net and at your local retail game store. Remember to stay safe out there, because bad things happen.
Spectre Studios, playing for the spirit of the game.